I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the 25th Hour Radio Show. I am your host, Rob Fairless, and on the phone with me today is rapper, producer, songwriter, and entrepreneur JT. JT, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me on the show.
What's going on? How you been?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. JT, I know over your career you've been involved with groups like In Too Deep and Latino Velvet, but here on the 25th Hour Radio Show, I like to keep things a little more personal. In other words, it's all about you today, my brother. So let's start the show off like this and just see where it takes us.
Right on.
When did you first start getting the itch to even want to become a performer?
I would say in high school, when, rap was still kind of in its early years, it started off New York, the Sugar Hill Gang and all them cats. And then, it moved to the LA area with, NWA and Ice-T. And then once it hit, I'm from the Bay Area. So once it hit Oakland and you had Too Short, in my eyes, I was like, man, well, I guess you can be from out here and be a rapper. So, once Too Short did it, that's when we kind of, had an idea that, man, maybe we could, because I was really good at rapping, every rap song that came out, I knew how to rap it. And, I learned the words real easy. And I thought I was, a pretty good rapper of rapping other people's stuff. So I just started, like I said, once it hit Oakland, I started, writing a few of my own raps and just took it from there. This was like, maybe 1990.
I got you. Now, man, I've talked to a lot of people over the last 10 years on this show, and I can ask the same question to most of my musical guests. And you better believe it, man, I'll get a different answer from every single person. So I'm going to ask you one of those questions, man, kind of put you on the spot.
All right.
Do you think you're a natural at performing, or was it something you've worked on over the years to become the performer that you always wanted to be?
I definitely was not a natural. I was just thinking about this the other day because I got a few big shows coming up, and I still get nervous. And, my first shows, I remember like I couldn't eat like the day before, the day of. I remember just laying, like my first, I think it was probably my first show, where I was just like, almost sick. And so, it was definitely like, the nerves are, for me, just being so nervous of, because I'm kind of a shy person, I think. So, I'm not like, I don't, even in school, I didn't like getting up and talking in front of people. So, for me to go up there and rap in front of a lot of people is, it was nervous. So,
I get what you're saying, man, because I get the same way. Like before, when I'm talking to you, let's say, right before the show,
yeah,
man, it's kind of hard to differentiate between the excitement and the nerves. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. So, like I said, I got, we're doing a show in October in Las Vegas at the Orleans Casino with Ice Cube and a bunch of, big artists. And I'm 3-4 months out, and I'm like already getting nervous, thinking about it, like, man, so yeah, it's, I don't want to promote this, but like, that's how I kind of started drinking, just to kill the nerves. And like, so, when I was first doing shows, I was still kind of young, so it wasn't like I was drinking a lot. And then, as years went on, I was like, man, let me have a couple drinks. And then that kind of like helped me to be able to go up there and be more, flow a little bit better and just, be loosened up. So, but yeah, I definitely still get nervous every show.
Man, you've been a part of some major acts, like I mentioned before, In Too Deep, Latino Velvet, and even to this day, you're still throwing out tracks as a solo performer. And you even have your own business with the Millionaire Mentality clothing company. Man, what keeps you going on a daily basis? Is it just about making a living to you, or is it more than that?
It is, the money, the music to me is kind of, not my primary, business right now. So like Millionaire Mentality, which is, the clothing stuff I sell, that's like my main hustle. But, the music, I just love it so much that's why I put out this, my latest album, the JT End of an Era. It's a double disc CD, and, it's on all digital outlets. But, the music, it's like I always say, man, okay, that's it. I'm done. And but it's just like, I'll hear somebody will send me a beat. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this one. And then I'll just start writing to it. So, the music's just in me that, I just love it. I feel I'm still really good at it.
I
Like
agree, man. I agree.
the feedback I got on this last album I just put out, like, man, it's your best one ever. And so, I just, if I feel if I start getting weak and people are like, man, I don't know, these songs ain't sounding good, then I might give it up. But yeah.
Look, man, when I go out with my wife, I want to be looking good, dressed to impress. I mean, we all want to look, our best when we're out and about. But you went a step further
Yeah.
and started to create your own gear. How did Millionaire Mentality Clothing Company originate? What was the inspiration behind that business move?
Well, during the In Too Deep days, we when we went out on the road, we were selling. We had some Back to the Hotel shirts, and then our second single was called Toss Up. We had some Toss Up shirts. So I was kind of the one that was found a designer that made the the logos, and I was paying for them, and then we take them on the road and sell them. And so I always kind of was dealing with the T-shirts, and then later on I started another kind of clothing line it was called 40 ounce entertainment, or I forget what the name of the line was, but it was like the 40 ounce bottle that I had used for my logo. We were selling them. And with those, we actually got them in a lot of stores. And then I kind of took a break after that. And then, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, I started, Millionaire Mentality. I just wanted to start a whole, like an umbrella of businesses, and Millionaire Mentality was the name of everything. So I started making shirts with that, and it just did really, really good. And I got stuff on Amazon, and it ended up turning into like a full-time gig for me. So that's just been keeping me busy. I've been, financially doing good with that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Sometimes I can get myself into things that I think will be easy, but when I actually start doing it, man, I realize it might be just a little bit more complicated than when I first started. And I wanted to say that before I ask you this question. What's more of a grind, man, music or clothes?
Definitely the clothes. People, so I'm, self-employed. So, I think people think that I just wake up and get checks or something, but they don't. Like, I really work. Something like, I probably never, I just got home I took my family to Disneyland, and, in Disneyland, I'm doing stuff. I just got home, last night I came home, I had to knock some orders out, and today, 4th of July, I just came back from picking up some shirts. So, on most days, like at least 10 hours a day, I'm working. So, and around Christmas time, when I get, when the orders are just, flowing in, I'm working like, 12, 14-hour days, like all of December. And, people don't, I think a lot of people don't understand it, being self-employed, having your own business, which I would never want to work for someone else. So, I take the hours, it's cool to me because I'm my own boss. I do whatever I want. I could take trips when I want and stuff, and I don't have to ask anyone. But you are going to work, if you're your own boss, you're going to work a lot. You're not going to just work 8 hours a day and call it a day. You're going to have to put in a lot of hours.
Gotcha, man. You're doing what you love, man. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about your music currently. Man, I think as we get older, the things we used to think were important change as the years go by. Has age in any way played a part in the things you rap about nowadays? Maybe life experiences that your younger self would have never thought you'd be rapping about today?
I mean, definitely. Just, having kids and the stuff I rapped about, and people, I think some people don't understand this. Like, my first solo album was called JT So Cold. When I made that album, I didn't, have any kids. I had kids, but I didn't have any kids that were old enough to be listening to my music and understanding what I'm saying. And, so I'm rapping just the whole, talking, filthy and, and as you get older now, I got daughters that are, they know they can go listen to my songs. So the stuff I was rapping about then, I don't want them to hear me saying it. So, I mean, I think, some of the fans sometimes can't, don't understand that I can't rap about what I was rapping about when I was 19, 20 years old. I'm in a total different world. Back then I probably didn't have no money, lived wherever. And, just my life was totally different. And, so of course, when you're rapping and making songs, you're kind of rapping about where you're at that point in your life. So, people 20 years later ain't going to be the same person as, when they made that album 20 years ago. So, and then definitely just, I'm older, I'm wiser. I want to I still rap about the game and, partying and stuff like that. But I try to leave a little bit of a positive message, in there.
Yeah,
try
man.
to slip it in, but definitely just having kids. I try to keep it a tiny bit. I still got to like some songs I don't like let them listen to, or I'll turn the volume down real quick and turn it back up after I say something. But I got a little bit of conscious.
I got you, man. What about personal life outside of your music and your business ventures? What's a day of relaxation like for JT? Or maybe what's some of your hobbies you like to immerse yourself in to break away from the daily stresses of life?
I love swimming. Just to me, like this is really simple, but just going underwater in like a swimming pool and just holding your breath and just being, you take yourself kind of out of the world for that 30 to 60 seconds. You can hold your breath. I just do that. It sounds weird, but that's just how I kind of get away from everything.
I get it. I do the same thing, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a pretty cool answer, man.
Yeah, and I just, I just hang out in the pool, have some drinks, chill out, just, kick it with the kids, and I don't do too much.
I got you. You ever thought about what you might have been if the rap game didn't work out for you? Like maybe in an alternate universe or something? What do you think JT might have been if he wasn't a rapper? It's a pretty tough question.
Yeah, I would have loved to like gotten into like, being an actor or something, even directing, or, I've shot a lot of videos and edited, and, I've always kind of been into that.
I think you just meant to be an entertainer, man. You were just always meant to be.
Yeah, I would have been, behind the scenes, and as a music producer, or in the movie, doing something behind the camera, or filming, with the camera filming, or something in the entertainment industry.
Got you, man. Well, man, it's Independence Day. It's the 4th of July, so I ain't going to keep you on the phone long. But before we start to wrap things up here, where can people go and find you on social media? You got your own personal favorite platforms?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I got a Twitter account. I don't really post too much on Twitter, but everything's /JT707, JAYTEE 707. And my website where you could get, all the shirts we're talking about and stuff is millionairementality.us. Where I got, a lot of my new CD, JT End of Era, is available on there. I got some, some of the 40 ounce records, t-shirts, some In Too Deep shirts, hoodies, tank tops, some of my sports stuff that I sell. But yeah, hit me up. And, like I was thinking about earlier, was that you had sent me some messages, but a lot of people, I don't really check the messages too much because, I get a lot, and then, if I go a couple of days and then they start building up,
oh yeah,
it's
man,
kind of hard to go through. And yeah,
get lost in the mix. I understand that. It's the same way here, man. So I definitely understand that, man. Well, JT, man, it's been awesome having you here on the show. I got one more thing I need to tell you before we close this thing out. My chief marketing officer, Eric Douglas's wife, her name's Leah Douglas, wanted me to let you know personally that Back to the Hotel was her jam. There, I said it. My obligation to state that is complete.
Right on, Leah. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, I still get calls from, people all over like, man, you're so, some dude was just in Arizona when the Suns were, in the playoffs, and he was at some sports bar and they played Back to the Hotel video in the bar. And, that was a big song, and I'm, it's kind of weird. I was a part of it, and, it's been played at, big sports games and, arenas, and, I'm sure pretty much, everyone that likes rap music, is going to know Back to the Hotel. And it's kind of, I'm proud to be, I made a song that, almost 30 years later is still, big and new. I'm getting new fans that are, the younger generation is learning about it. And, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, man.
And thank you, Leah. I appreciate that.
There you go, man. Well, James, man, I'm going to call you James because it's just personal. I want to be more personal on this one, man. I thank you for being on. I thank you for being on the show today, man. I really appreciate it.
All good, man. Thanks for having me. And everybody go check out that JT End of an Era. Available digitally everywhere, or come order a real Last of the Dinosaur CDs that some of these younger people don't even know what a CD is, but I have a hard copy available at millionairementality.us. And I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.